Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to talk about an EDC test, which I'm doing right now. But before that, if you're interested into detective stories, uh, look into the description. It's the first part of an 11-part detective series that I wrote. So if you're interested, look into the description. So today I want to talk about an EDC test. Most people always talk about bug out tests and bug out bags, but an EDC is something that you will probably use more. As you can know from my previous videos, this is always my EDC. People rarely see me walking around without this thing, so to most people it will not be that big. So today I'm going to concentrate on the things that most people with that are starting to get an EDC will have. So the test that I'm doing now is my girlfriend wrote me to somewhere, and I just said, just I'm stepping out and I'm going home by foot, like a sort of evacuation, bug out, get home, exercise during the day. So it's just like what I is the thing that I normally wear. It's my usually EDC bag. So to me, it would be sudden. So the first thing that you have to do is, if you want to get home, is try to figure out how you get home. You can do this by figuring out where you are. The simple things are, today with the smartphone, you just take out your smartphone or regular phone and you look around from where am I. Oh, you can use GPS, but if you do not have those, you can try to look at signs at the road, ask the local people where you're at, and that way you can determine what direction you have to go. Or if you're in the middle of nowhere, try to find something with directions. Like not everybody will have a compass like in my EDC bag, so it could be something just as simple as a watch, analog watch, by the way. That way you can find the directions uh, by using the sun. If you look into my video about navigation skills, you will know that if you use a watch, you put a small point towards the sun and everything, and where the how do you say this, the big point is between 12 hours. That way is usually north. So that way you know where the north is, and perhaps on a little bit of guessing and knowledge, estimated guessing, I would say, you can find the direction that you should be going till you can find another navigation point or point of reference that you can base your route back home. So that's something you can do. Next thing is, if you know where you are, um, you can go by foot or just simple. Everybody will have this EDC. Just call a friend. Call a friend, a family member, your significant others, your child, if they are old enough to drive, or to pick you up. That's something that could happen. Oh yeah, I forgotten to tell you why. How could this happen? Because everybody has this big scenario in mind, but to be honest, it could be. That's why I do this EDC exercise. It could be something small as a fight with your girlfriend and she drove off. Uh, you got lost. A train is not running or for the day because of some big accident uh, during a war. Yeah, it was a small scenario, I would say, but those are just small scale scenarios that could happen. That your car break down, for example, and you have to get home by foot with only your EDC. Yeah, so we talked about finding your way. Second, find a way home. Like I said, if you cannot reach somebody of your family or friends, then the next thing you can do is get public transport. And what's handy for that? It's something that I always have in my EDC, and that's some extra cash. That way you can take a train, perhaps take a bus, even if you have money enough, or perhaps it's a start to get some, is to get a cab and they will drive you home. That's also a possibility. Or in the worst case scenario, you just hitchhike, but that's kind of dangerous. I would not recommend it, especially if you're a woman. That could be hazardous. All right, so you don't get any of these, and you have to walk home. If you walk home, there are certain things you need to take in account, because like today, I could have faced the problem that it's very hot. It's one of the hottest days of the years today, and yeah, I would say if you're going out to wherever you are, always have a jacket, like I did, even if it's warm. Why? I against sunburns, and if you want to reduce your water uses, because you don't know how much water you're going to use, if you cover your whole body, your sweat will stay on place and you will use less sweat, so you lose less water to get home. Second thing is I always have some sunglasses in my EDC, especially in after the springtime, just for the sun, because if you have to go a long way in the same direction again towards the sun, that's very bad for your eyes. Even if you have a cap like this, if you do not have a cap or a hat or something to protect your head, there are two things that I always have in my EDC bag to protect me. First of all, the chamois. You can cover your head with it. You can even make it wet with some water that you find on your way, and that will help you cool you off, or if protects against sunburns, or if it's at night, it can help you get a little bit warmer. Even during the summer, sometimes it can get a little bit chilly at night. Those things you can use to could be very handy, that you always have in your EDC bag. Another small thing is that I have in my EDC bag. I always put this in my EDC bag when it's summertime, and that's some coconut oil. If you saw my video about the benefits of survival benefits of coconut oil, you will know that this is a very great sunscreen natural sunscreen that you can put all over your body. It's not only for cooking. There are many things I would recommend to watch that video. So those are the things that you have in your EDC, that most people could have in their EDC. Water is yet again very important. It could be something small. I have always this in my EDC, but for some people it could be different. Water purification tablets for if you want to find water on your way home that you need, because today it's very hot, so I will use more water. Another thing is I always have a small filter. It's one of those Water Plus filters with a bag that you can take directly into your sip from with any filtered water. The next thing is I always have I always carry some water with me. This is my if you can see my canteen. I always have this in my survival bag, but it could not always be perhaps a metal filled canteen. It could be just something as small as a small plastic water bottle that you carry in your EDC bag. Very important for especially during a day like this. Of course, the situation will be different in during winter time, for example. So that way you probably will need something if the ride takes longer, or you have to wait for your friend or your family member to pick you up. It could get cold. Emergency blanket, that's usually also in your EDC bag for even the basic preppers. A multi-tool, very important in case you run into some shady guys and you need to defend yourself. Multi-tool could be very handy for that, and it's also legal to carry. Yeah, something a flashlight, because you do not always have light from your cell phone, especially if the battery is running down. So I always have a small flashlight in my EDC bag in case it gets the walk takes a little bit longer and it gets night. So yeah, and just for the rest, I have the small basic things to make fire and such. So yeah, those are the basic things I carried with this EDC test, and that is the importance of doing tests, because if you just have your EDC and never test your gear, never test the route, never test not only your equipment but also your body, because fitness is also very important. If you do not regularly take walks, do a little bit of exercise, how do you going to get home even if you carry a lot of gear? So that's also a very important part of these get home tests. And yeah, this was just a small video to show you what you can do and the importance of doing EDC tests in the field, and just to get home. And it's just a small how do you say this? It's a little bit exciting to just say at certain points when I'm going to step out and I will get home and I will see how I'm gonna get that, and not really planning it, because plans could fail or backfire or need to change. So it's a little bit of training your improvisation skills. And yeah, I would say not to try to not to be dependent on other people's, because that would defeat the purpose of the exercise. I'm going further, so yeah, I would say thank you for watching. Subscribe, I would really appreciate it. If you're interested into a detective story series, look into the description down below. Leave a like, give some tips, advice from your own experience in the comments. Always interested into learning from other people's if they got good tips. I'm always eager to learn new things. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers.